Dzień dobry, witam Państwa serdecznie w imieniu Pani Prezes Ewy Pagi, swoim i wszystkich członków zespołu Fundacji imienia Lesława Apagi. Ja się nazywam Marta Płowiec, jestem dyrektorem operacyjnym i dzień dobry wszystkim Państwu. Bardzo dziękuję, że jesteście, pomimo tego, że mamy środek tygodnia, środę, godzinę 10 i na pewno macie Państwo swoje inne zobowiązania, ale cieszę się, że dotarliście, żeby być z nami w tym ważnym dla naszych alumnów dniu. Jesteście Państwo z nami, bo chcemy dziś Państwu zaprezentować raport, który powstał dzięki przedstawicielom alumnów jednego z naszych projektów, C Capital Market Leaders Forum. Alumni tego projektu skupili się w tym roku na fintechach w regionie CEE. Dlaczego? Dlatego, że sama idea projektu C Capital Market Leaders Forum to jest idea projektu, który ma mówić właśnie o fintechach w regionie Europy Środkowo-Wschodniej. Witam bardzo serdecznie wszystkich zgromadzonych. Dziękuję za przybycie przedstawicielom partnerów, bez których ten projekt by się nie odbył, bez ich wsparcia. Oczywiście ten projekt nie byłby także możliwy, gdyby nie strategiczne zaangażowanie Międzynarodowego Funduszu Wyszehradzkiego, bardzo silnej determinacji koordynatorki projektu Justyny Florczak, także ja chciałabym poprosić o małe brawa dla Justyny. No i oczywiście ten projekt nie byłby możliwy, gdyby nie jego uczestnicy. Witajcie kochani, bardzo się cieszę, że jesteście z nami, bardzo Wam dziękuję za ciężką pracę, którą podjęliście, wkładając swoje umysły i swoją wiedzę w ten raport. Witam Pana Rektora Kolegium Civitas. Dzień dobry Panie Rektorze. Chciałabym zaprosić na scenę Pana doktora Tomasza Kasprowicza, wiceprezesa Fundacji Republika, który powie do Państwa kilka słów.
Dzień dobry. Dziękuję za zaproszenie. Ja mam tylko kilka słów na temat tego, dlaczego uważam, że to tak ważne, żeby zajmować się tematem, którym się zajmujemy. Szacuje się, że około połowa wzrostu PKB w nadchodzących latach będzie pochodziła z sektora IT. I to nie zależy od tego, ile mamy kapitału i doświadczenia, potrzebujemy innowacji, potrzebujemy edukacji. I to, jak ten rejon Europy radzi sobie z tą innowacją, zwłaszcza w zakresie fintechów, pokazuje, że tą szansę jesteśmy w stanie wykorzystać. Dlatego tak ważne jest dla nas z punktu widzenia Visegrad Insight, czyli magazynu zajmującego się kwestiami wyszehradzkimi, aby te tematy rozpowszechniać tak, żeby te osiągnięcia, które tutaj mamy, były szeroko znane i nasz rejon Europy był w tym zakresie doceniany. Dlatego tak bardzo doceniamy ten raport, który Państwo przygotowali, który mam nadzieję przybliży zainteresowanym mniej lub bardziej o tym, jak wielki potencjał drzemie w tej branży i jak wiele jest tutaj jeszcze do zrobienia i zyskania. Dziękuję.
Bardzo dziękuję Panie Doktorze. Chciałabym też bardzo serdecznie przywitać przedstawicieli mediów, ponieważ to mediom także chcielibyśmy pokazać wyniki tej ciężkiej pracy alumnów i ja już w tej chwili nie pozostaje mi nic innego, jak zaprosić przedstawicieli alumnów, którzy powiedzą trochę więcej o wynikach swoich prac i teraz przejdziemy już na język angielski. Zapraszam Was serdecznie. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. My name is Maciej Nadolny, and together with Dmitro Bulak and Marcel Bosik, we wanted to present in our chapter the general overview of Visegrad Group economies, with particular emphasis on the role of innovation in each one of them. Sections for every country starts with general indicators, representing the economic and social development between 2012 and 2016. The GDP per capita, current health expenditure, employment rate, the migration rate, the risk of poverty, and Gini coefficient. What Visegrad Group countries have in common is that all four of them are high-income, well-developed countries with steady growth for over 3 decades, right after the fall of the communism. If we would consider the group as a single state, it would be the 5th largest economy in Europe and 12th in the whole world. The second part of each section is entrepreneurial activity. The Visegrad Group countries differ in global competitiveness rankings, from 29th place for Czech Republic, through 37th place for Poland, 39th for Slovakia, and 48th for Hungary. Despite that, all countries face similar problems, such as inefficient government bureaucracy, tax rates, and corruption. The positive factor is that all countries experience steady growth of new enterprises. Due to constant decrease of time and cost required to open a new business, and they are also quite competitive and attractive for foreign investors. The last part of each section is the innovation, financial sector, and fintech. All 4 countries are characterized by a still growing usage of internet, both households and companies. The banking sectors are in general healthy. The banks avoided problems that Western Europe and USA experienced during the crisis of 2008. Actually, the V4 group is a place where banks are actually the companies that are driving innovation, and fintech of this region are more willing to cooperate with them rather than competing with them. Due to economic size, Poland is a regional leader of fintech market and the technology hub for other countries. But fintech solutions are gaining momentum also in Czech Republic, where the yields for end customer services yield for end customer services in 2017 even doubled. In Slovakia, where in 2017 developed a common API standard for communication between the third-party providers and banks, according to PSD2 requirements. And finally, in Hungary, with startups companies listed on Fast 50 CEE region Deloitte report for 2018. And I think the summary of the data collected by us in this section suggests that despite the V4 group is still chasing the richer Western countries, the whole region can be described as one of the most innovative and fintech-friendly environment in the world. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Maciej Winiarski, and together with Michał Dzierwa, we prepared a chapter regarding challenges and the future of the Visegrad Group. As every alliance, the Visegrad Group deals with various challenges. In our report, we separated them into 3 main categories: economy, sustainability and security, and politics. We understand that the real landscape includes far more specific elements and examples of challenges. However, due to the fact that the whole report is focused around technology and finance-related topics, we decided to highlight these which we consider the most correlated with the main thought. In most of the cases, geography of the V4 is directly linked with challenges and opportunities. Being located between post-Soviet East and democratic West, and becoming a physical border of the EU, V4 countries face various challenges. From the economic side, we focus on the role of the region within the Belt and Road Initiative, the program set up by China, which key objective is to tighten trade relations between PRC and continental Europe. According to the data from 2015, V4 countries are key partners for China when it comes to import, while keeping the export deficit twice less than import. Secondly, the energy security is considered a key challenge. Transforming the energy sources into sustainable and green fuels will be a great chance for the V4 countries to achieve energetic independence in the region, as the current data shows that majority of the countries produce their power from fossil fuels. Second main set of challenges is linked to sustainability and security in business area. the unquestionable rise of technology in the business area significantly increased the number of companies which are considering outside financing for the future growth. We decided to measure value of financing for the given stage of business to recognize the market focus. As presented in the table 3 on page 35, it can be said that majority of financing is being located in managerial buyouts. On the other hand, high importance is also given to expansion financing and startup financing. At the same time, seed and first stage financing records minor value in capital injection. From one perspective, it provides opportunity for the investors to find a niche within the market, while from another, it shows that limited financing is available for companies at certain level of growth. As the security challenge is being presented, report highlights key cyber attacks within the region and the fact that Poland, Czech Republic and Hungary, and also Slovakia were also some of the impacted parties. Unfortunately, modern Europe had to take a reactive approach while dealing with cybersecurity threats. Especially now, when media reports potential threats on a daily basis, local cooperation while managing IT infrastructure and support will be crucial in order to provide secure solutions within the region. Another main set of challenges described in the report deals with politics of the Visegrad Group. As part of political issues, several problems can be identified concerning both internal relations between the group states and the relations between the group and other countries as well as organizations. In contrast to the beginnings of the V4's activity, when the group was fairly homogeneous and strongly cooperating, now the member states are putting their own business far beyond the group's interests, due to different views on security issues and different choice of foreign policy priorities. On one of the few examples of the V4 political successes in recent years was the group's common position on the immigration crisis in 2015. The group's countries expressed their firm opposition to the numbers of refugees imposed by the European Commission on the EU member states. Table 6 on page 40 demonstrates that none of the V4 countries met the demands of the European Commission. This position on the immigration crisis has led to deterioration in relations with the EU and Germany. Funds granted by the European Union are also a source of lack of unanimity among the V4 countries. As presented in the table 5 on page 38, Poland was the largest beneficiary in the previous EU budget with more than 100 billion euro of funds granted. The budget for the following years has not yet been determined, although its draft presented by the European Commission has caused some significant dissatisfaction of the V4 countries. In the international arena, the group's largest partner is Germany, with whom relations are gradually improving since the V4 summit in Bratislava in February 2019. For Germany, the V4 is an important partner both politically and economically. In total, V4 countries account for approximately 10% of German exports, more than any other country, which is demonstrated by Table 7 on page 40. Table 8, however, illustrates group political strength in the decision-making structures of the European Union. The number of weighted votes of V4 countries in the European Commission equals the votes of Germany and France taken together. The chapter also focuses on the future of the V4. We identified 3 possible scenarios which differ in the degree of cooperation and integration of the V4 countries. These scenarios are described on page 42. The first one assumes a much intensified cooperation and transformation into an organization based on Benelux model. The second option provides for closer cooperation with V4 as an alternative to integration within the European Union. The third, and in our opinion the most likely option, is disintegration. It would mean only occasional cooperation and confluence of common interests of V4 countries, without a framework for permanent cooperation within the Visegrad Group. Thank you very much for your attention.
Good morning, my name is Agnieszka Machoń, and together with Szymon Brodziak, we prepared the part about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has become a significant factor in many industries. Finance is no exception, and it's already changing in a fast way. Artificial intelligence can help companies to cut costs, automate processes, and boost their revenue. In this report, we wanted to present a current state about the current situation of artificial intelligence in V4 Group, key drivers and challenges, and recommendations regarding artificial intelligence. According to McKinsey Global Institute, artificial intelligence can influence the global economic activity by increasing its value by $30 trillion by 2030. It shows that artificial intelligence is going to be a very important part of technology. The members of the Visegrad Group have already noticed this trend. In 2018, there were many organizations in this region. For example, in Hungary, there is Hungary's AI Coalition, and when it comes to Slovakia, the American Chamber of Slovakia created an artificial intelligence platform. It's worth mentioning that in this region there is a strong cooperation between universities, business, and the governments. In our chapter, we also presented some key drivers regarding AI. In our opinion, reshaping traditional operating models and changes in workforce are the most important factors in this topic. Just like every technology has its benefits, it also has challenges. We think that no clear regulations is the main challenge in this topic. In April 2018, the members of the Visegrad Group has announced their priorities regarding EU regulations on AI. The aim of this statement was to launch a debate between the European Commission, the businesses, public administration, and citizens. In our opinion, the other challenge is narrow perspective. Artificial intelligence can do only a clearly defined task. In our opinion, this is very restrictive regarding the huge potential that this technology has. Until now, most companies has focused on using these technologies to cut costs, and they are eliminating all other aspects that this technology can be used for. In this chapter, we presented some sectors in which artificial intelligence is playing a huge role. The first one is payments and personal finance. The second payments directive, PSD2, and open banking allowed regulated fintech to get an access to online banking systems. It allows them to develop innovative products and reach to the clients of the traditional banking sector. The second sector is capital markets and investment opportunities. We think that wealth management is the most important part here. Artificial intelligence can help people to invest in the right way. The third sector is cybersecurity. We found out that this year the companies in Europe are spending more and more money on cybersecurity. It's obvious that in internet there are more and more dangerous people that want to somehow get data from people. And such an example is a startup from Poland, Neton. They want to prevent frauds in internet. And the last sector is process optimization. When we are speaking about process optimization, we have to say about robotic process automation. This is some kind of software that is working like a virtual robot. A survey conducted by ESG shows that more than 3/4 of countries in EMEA region are spending more and more money on RPA in 2018 in comparison to the previous year. Here is an example of a startup called Minit. This is a startup from Slovakia, and they are automating tasks within programs that can help another companies. This was, of course, just a roundup of application of artificial intelligence in fintech. Since this technology is growing every day, we expect that in a few months there will be many applications of it. With the huge competition in fintech industry, it's no surprise that companies are adopting new technologies and want to be one step ahead of other competitors. Adopting artificial intelligence in fintech means reducing the human errors and increasing the revenue and productivity. We believe that artificial intelligence has a significant value in this region. If you're interested in the potential impact of artificial intelligence and want to know how artificial intelligence is going to grow, is going to transform every aspect of fintech industry in the Visegrad Group, then I highly recommend reading this chapter. Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name is Daria, and together with my colleague Gabriel, who is present today, not only did we had an opportunity to prepare the chapter on blockchain, we are working within this sector. That is why we're extremely fascinated with everything what is going on today on the market. So recently, probably all of us had heard about the buzzword blockchain, and unfortunately not everyone knows what actually stands behind. Well, actually the blockchain, this is the type of distributed ledger technology which is characterized by the decentralization and secure structure. So, like, the blockchain appeared in 2018 with the appearance of the most known cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. However, the applications of blockchain are not restricted only to the cryptocurrencies. Oppositely, the range of applications is extremely high. Those are supply chains, IP protection, entertainment, and of course banking and finance sector. According to the Cambridge Alternative Finance Center for Research, around 30% of blockchain is dedicated to the banking and finance sector. However, as I've mentioned, it's not restricted only to the crypto markets. The blockchain is used for assets dematerialization, for financial reporting, for authentication of data, and way more applications. Today we are talking about the blockchain, and it seems to be natural and it seems to be casual in our lives. We're discussing, we are implementing these solutions. However, 10 years ago, well, this technology faced a really low level of acceptance. And initially it was originated as the counter solution to the public government. The main idea was to discard the intermediary from the financial process, from the financial transaction. However, today we see the more and more engagement of exactly government or public institutions. Because I don't know if you are aware, but such great corporations as JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Alphabet, Daimler, they are already joining the blockchain revolution and introduce the solutions in their infrastructure and their markets. So, as any infant technology, blockchain has the challenges and opportunities. Of course, opportunities are the better driver of the revolution. So we can name exactly the exclusion of intermediary from the process, which leads to reduction of the cost, which leads to the faster transaction between the parties. Those are the key drivers for the whole financial system, because like we see how it already today improves our financial markets and the capital markets. For example, the Warsaw Stock Exchange already working on the implementation of the assets dematerialization, and this project is called Private Equity Market, and I also recommend you to learn more about it. This is the perfect case of introduction of blockchain into the traditional capital markets, what we can observe in Poland. Also, there are a lot of initiatives within the European Union and, of course, the V4 group being started. So one of them is the European Blockchain Observatory and Forum. The second would be the, sorry, I forgot the name, but you can get your self-acknowledged with those initiatives in the report. And the goals of those initiatives are to promote the implementation of the blockchain, is to discuss and to raise the awareness of this technology within the European Union. There are a lot of cases, there are a lot of startups connecting blockchain, implementing blockchain within the fintech startups. One of the most famous in Poland is startup Bilan, which enables the faster data transferring and faster transactions. There are a lot of others within other groups, and you can also get acknowledged with them within the report. So, regarding the numbers, to show you how quickly the market is growing, according to the Cambridge study, the European blockchain market is going to achieve 4 billion USD till 2020 third year, and like in 10 years, the 10% of worldwide GDP is going to be stored within digital ledgers. And to summarize my presentation today, I would like to quote, to cite one quotation. Blockchain is on the verge of revolutionizing how we interact in the digital world. Of course, there are chances and there are challenges, but what we are seeing now, this is the new revolution. So I encourage you to get acknowledged with the blockchain technology and especially with its use cases. Thank you.
And I was responsible for the last chapter in the report concerning open banking. I should stress that this is the last trend, but not least, definitely. And I will explain you why, in my opinion. First of all, open banking will be one of the biggest challenges in the world of finance in the coming future. This challenge will be not incomparable with application of such a latest technology like AI or blockchain. Thank you to my colleagues for the presentations, but in my opinion, AI and blockchain should be perceived in terms of technological progress, not on the business side, on the business strategy side. Yes, and open banking is more about business. It's more about changing the strategy of banks. It's more about building a new business models in the fintech market. And in my chapter, there's, I think, a good explanation why it is so. But we should start with the history. Yes, with the history. The long history of banking is such an indication that financial institutions like banks will be necessary, also in the future. This attitude among banks, combined with the monopoly for some services, has resulted in a relatively low ability to change, to transform, and the environment, the competitive environment of banks is fast changing actually. Yes? We have fintechs, we have big tech companies, we have Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Google. We have other digital advanced sectors like e-commerce that could replace in some, under some circumstances, the banks. Yes, and open banking is about that. Open banking is about the unleashing of the distribution of the services that were reserved for banks. It's about unleashing the data collected over the years in the banking systems. Until now, in order to check your balance in bank or to make a transfer, you need to call to the contact center, go to the branch, and in advanced markets, okay, logging into mobile or web application. Yeah? And open banking is to change the state of affairs. And I can imagine now that in the near future I will make a transfer via chatting on Messenger or check the balance by talking with Amazon Alexa at breakfast, for example. And there are two main drivers of open banking. First is market initiatives created by market players, and the examples are USA or China. Second driver of open banking is regulations. Yes, and here the European Union is the leader with the second payment service directive, PSD2. We all heard about the PSD2 regulation. I've wrote a couple of data about it in the report, so I will not provide here the data. But what is important, the directive was adopted in November 2015. The member states of European Union were obligated to adopt their legal systems by January 2018. 2018. Three of Visegrad Group countries implemented the directive with the deadline. Only Poland had a delay of 6 months, but it's not important because there's also one very important act, delegated act supplementing the directive. This is regulatory technical standards. The RTSs were officially published in March 2018, and there is 18 months period to adopt to RTSs. So the banks are obligated to deliver open banking services, PSD2 services, to September 2019. Yeah? We have 6 months to adopt open banking services. But in the next week, I guess, it's the deadline to provide documentations, publicly available documentation of PSD2 services. And I think we should observe the news in newspapers or in some services concerning innovations, technology, finance, and so on. Okay. Yes, open banking is more about business, but behind open banking is also the technology. Technology which should be named as Application Programming Interface, API. The API is a standard of communication between IT systems, actually. And API is nothing new in the technology world, also in banking. Banks know API standards well because they use APIs for internal purposes or to communicate with their corporate clients, for example. Only the new will be the way that the API will be used, the way that will be publicly available, and only this element will be some kind of novelty for banks. Yes, and summing up, we could name 2 categories of consequences of open banking. Consequences on the macro and micro level. On the macro level, this will be the change of the structure of the market. Fintech companies, tech companies, other digital sectors will be more and more important in the world of payments. And at the micro level, I will go more to the bank side and what open banking could mean for banks itself. For banks, API mechanisms and open banking will be a gateway to the external world, will be a new source of data about clients, and the result of open banking will be the big data. because the banking and the payment market will be homogeneous, and only the big data capabilities, the best-in-class customer experience, the data-led personalization will be the X factor for banks. And banks able to accomplish such tasks will not only be able to maintain their current market position, but also to improve it. Thank you very much.
Bardzo dziękuję wszystkim przedstawiającym. Dziękuję Wam bardzo, kochani, za wszystko, co dzisiaj powiedzieliście. Szanowni Państwo, każdy z Państwa otrzymał oczywiście egzemplarz naszego raportu. Serdecznie zachęcam do zapoznania się z nim. Pobranie go będzie możliwe lada chwila z naszej strony internetowej, oczywiście strony internetowej naszej fundacji. Jeśli ktoś z Państwa ma potrzebę, aby otrzymać jeszcze jeden egzemplarz, bo zna osobę, która może go potrzebować, może być zainteresowana tematyką, także bardzo prosimy o kontakt z fundacją, bo mamy kilka dodatkowych egzemplarzy. Na pewno pochylimy się nad tym i dla wszystkich wystarczy. Zanim zakończymy dzisiejsze spotkanie, chcielibyśmy Państwu jeszcze na koniec zajawić, jak wyglądał sam projekt CE Capital Market Leaders Forum, który odbył się w grudniu i który był początkiem drogi do stworzenia tego raportu.
Capital Market Leaders is such a great project. It provides a lot of meaningful workshops, mentorship, and networking. I think I am a good example of success of this project because I became a fintech expert thanks to the project of Paga Foundation, and it boosted really fast my career.
I think this is a great project that combines together 45 students enthusiasted in technology and interested in business. The students that understand that the future business has to be based on technology.
In odbyła, we are glad that we could support the CE Capital Market Leaders Forum, a project by Paga Foundation. We believe that it is a great opportunity to support the development of fantastic, smart, brilliant young people who I believe will be the future leaders of Polish financial sector and Polish economy.
Thank you very much for the invitation for the Capital Market Leaders Forum. It was a great occasion to discuss about new way of working in ING and describe new way of working implemented based on values, based on energy came from people. Thank you very much and wish you very good luck in the future.
Hello, I'm very glad that we as an ING we were part of that forum of the Paga Foundation. It was also good for us to validate is our way of working and the way of thinking is interesting for the young people, and we are crossing the fingers for them for their future. Thank you.
Dziękujemy Państwu bardzo za to, że byliście z nami i to jest ten moment, w którym już możemy Państwa zaprosić na przepyszną kawę i do cateringu, który mamy przygotowany specjalnie dla Państwa po prawej stronie. Dziękuję bardzo.